listening to the Apollo Podcast Network. 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Diamond Podcast here on the Apollo Podcast Network. Brian, LaLima, ApolloDez here with you. Follow us on Twitter at BLima790, at ApolloDez1, and of course at ApolloHOU. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, which we're doing a video podcast. It is the ALDS, and the Astros have a 2-1 lead over the Chicago White Sox. They won their first two games at home.
And the umpires.
The umpires. And they go to Chicago and they lose game 3 by a score of 12-6. Dez, you were at both games in Houston. I was at game 1. Minute Maid Park was rocking. I heard game 2 was even louder than game 1. I don't think we had anybody in Chicago for game 3, but it doesn't really matter because, you know, that game was absolutely atrocious from the umpires. But before we go into our rants, I know a lot of, you and I both have a lot of thoughts on game 3. Before we go into our rant, long-winded speeches about how bad the umpires were, we'll get into Tepera's comments after game 3. Let's just generalize what we've seen so far. Lance McCullers came out and threw a gem in game 1, 6 2/3. Lance Lynn got torn apart, as I think we all thought. I think he threw something like 93% fastballs in that game, which for some reason, I have no idea why you would do. He's a fat bag of snacks anyways, total douchebag. I can't wait until the Astros.
He threw 76 pitches and 74 fastballs.
Okay, so more than 93%.
Yeah, so, bang, bang, trash can. But when you're laying nothing but cock-high fastballs, we're going to hit him.
To be going against one of the arguably the best offense in baseball. Why is that your game plan? It's game 1 of the playoffs, meat. What are you doing?
It's absolute bananas. Absolute bananas that this is a thing. But hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Throw him again.
Yeah. And then game 2, Astros take 9-4. Stanek actually got the win. Framber came in. He pitched good enough to keep the Astros in the ball game. Obviously, later in that game, the Astros offense absolutely exploded. Kyle Tucker hit a bomb. Yordan Alvarez had a big RBI double, 2 RBI double or single, whatever it was. There's been so much going on that I can't remember every single part of it. But the offense looked good in the first 2 games. Before we go to game 3, what are your general thoughts on the first 2 games, at least?
Win at home. That's the name of the game, especially in the ALDS. We saw it. We're seeing it across the league, right? Red Sox split with the Rays. Dodgers split with San Fran. Milwaukee and
Atlanta.
The Braves split as well. So it's a lot of pressure for a swing game 3. And we saw that happen last night with the Red Sox. And now they're in total control. And so when you're at home, you have to win, and that's what the Astros did. Barring anything that is we didn't see coming, which was the umpires, but win at home, name of the game.
Yeah, and as we record this, today is Monday. The Astros were supposed to play. It was going to be a 2:37 start, but it was postponed due to rain, so now they will play on Tuesday at 1:07. And then we'll talk game 3 now. Dez, if you don't mind, can you fix your webcam?
Yeah, I'm working on it right now.
Okay. Blurry Dez. It's all right. That's what we do here at APolloDez. We adapt and adjust, and that's what we're going to do. We're back. We are not like Texas because we're back, as you wear your Longhorn hat.
We don't have to be ugly about it.
But all right, game 3. You've got Luis Garcia on the mound. Astros taking early. I think it was 3-1 lead. Yes, it was 3-1. And there were suspect calls with the strike zone. Very inconsistent from the jump. Very inconsistent on both sides. Ever been a guy that bitches at umpires or blames umpires? Yes, you admit when calls are wrong. I was always taught as a player, especially through the college ranks, to control what you can control. And you can't control the umpires, right? But these guys are at the top of the baseball world as far as an umpiring crew. And the home plate umpire, what's his name? Is it Tom? I don't
even want to speak his name. It's disgusting. It has a sour taste in my mouth. It is gross.
It was bad on both sides. All night. From the get-go, it was bad. Bad. Like Martine Maldonado, one of the best defensive catchers in the league, bar none, one of the top defensive catchers in the league, argued balls and strikes. And it was when he was hitting. And it's no secret that Martine Maldonado is not the best hitter in the lineup or in the league. Okay. But when he argues balls and strikes, that should show you something.
For sure.
And even play devil's advocate. The Astros were getting calls that were not strikes because he was so bad on both sides. And there was the one pitch up and away, 94 miles an hour, dotted up, okay, right where Maldonado wanted it, and it was not called. It would have been strike 3, inning over, boom. But what happens? It extends the inning, momentum goes to the White Sox, and honestly, that changed the entire ball game.
Yeah.
Do not tell me momentum is not real in baseball. Don't tell me that.
It's 100% real. And we saw it last night, even when it's produced artificially by the umpires. And look, everyone's heard it. I've been on the timeline. We've all been on the timeline. It's a misjustice, a miscarriage of misjustice. It is disgusting.
Yeah.
And I just can't believe, and you nailed it, when Maldi is chirping back, a guy who knows his zone inside and out, when he's chirping at the plate, you know it's bad. And last night it was an ump show, and we're not coming here to watch. And this is why baseball has a problem with an attendance and viewing and all of this, because unless your team's playing, why would I tune into that? Why would I tune into an ump show? I'll switch it over to Sunday Night Football. I'll watch Mahomes and Josh Allen play. You're hurting your product.
Yeah.
You hurt your product every time one of these guys thinks it's about them. And it happens all the fucking goddamn time in the biggest moments.
And another thing, we'll get back to the umpires, but just real quick segue. Another thing that's hurting the baseball product are the broadcast teams.
Oh, it's
Buck Showalter, Bob Costas, and I don't even know I forgot the other guy's name. For game 2, absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, brutal.
And half the time, also with the product, you can't even watch. People don't have MLB Network.
MLB Blackout is brutal.
The blackout, and then some people don't have MLB Network. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
I tweeted it out during game 2. If we played a drinking game and Buck Showalter in game 2 said this infield is faster than any other infield in MLB, and every time you hear that, you take a drink or a shot, you're blackout, you're alcohol poisoning. He talked about that. He talked about Ted Williams, talked about all these ancient players that no one gives a shit about anymore. They kept referencing them because there were 3 dudes that are in their mid-70s and they're still calling baseball like it's played in 1970. Look, the game has changed completely. It's more flamboyant. There's more emotion. There's more pimp jobs. There's more celebrating on the mound. Okay? And that's where we're headed in baseball. Get with the times. That just goes back to hurting the product.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing from game 3, to go back to what you were talking about, is it's the ump show. Okay. Inconsistent strike zone. At least it was a inconsistent on both sides. Yeah. Right. But my God, how do you miss Yasmani Grandal running on the inner part of the baseline in the grass on a play? It was a contact. The contact play was on for the White Sox. Okay.
Yes.
Less than 2 outs, runner at third. You're going on contact. Yasmani Grandal knows that. All he's trying to do is put it in play, force the defense to make a bang, bang play. Yuli fields it. It was going to be a dart. Tim Anderson was going to be tagged at home. That changes the momentum as well. But what happens? Grandal goes into the grass, kind of flares the shoulder out just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
This little chicken wing.
It hits him. It ricochets off. Tim Anderson slides in, takes out the home plate umpire, and it's all hell breaks loose. How do you miss that? Why do we have replay? Why do we have replay if we're not going to use it?
And the worst thing about it, the guy who calls it was the home plate umpire, right? and he got taken out from Tim Anderson on the side. There's no way he saw any of that. Rely on the 4 other dudes. And that's the problem with the fucking umpires. They stick up for their own. They stick up. It doesn't matter if they got the call wrong or right. It doesn't, because they stick up for their guy. And it's bullshit. And now we have an ump show dealing with a game 3 elimination game, ALDS game. And that's the subject of the conversation.
Tom Hallian was the home plate umpire. Just so we have it.
It's disgusting.
So our viewers know that we know
3 times in the mirror. If you say that 3 times in the mirror, he'll come up behind you and just fucking break the mirror. It's disgusting. Put him on a rocket and send him the fuck. Robel Garcia, you're back, Bubba. Your seat is here. Your ticket, you're staying on Earth. Thomas Hallian, Thomas Scallion. Put him on a rocket. Send him to fucking Mars.
Tom Hallian. Hey, Yimi Garcia.
I'm not even ordering scallions for the rest. I don't even eat scallions, but it sounds like his name. I'm not even doing that.
Yimi Garcia, meet Tom Hallian. Tom, meet Yimi. You guys are first class on the rocket. It's your time, Bubba. Right?
Yimi, what are you doing, Bubba? Look, I get it. Difficult spot. Coming in the middle of the count, 2-0.
That's another thing. That's another thing, man. What? Okay.
I do it all the time on MLB The Show, and that's a video game.
I don't like to question MLB managers, because they're at the pinnacle of the baseball world. They are managing top talent in the world. Why? Seriously, what could someone have said to Dusty Baker or Brett Strom or Joe Espada?
I was literally about to say that. What was the brain trust like, hey, now's the time? Like, it wasn't obviously Dusty's the one that goes out there, but
right.
Espada and Strom may have some say in that.
So what is
going on?
In a 2-0 count in game 3 of the ALDS? Why?
Oh my God.
Why? That's maddening too. A 2-0 count. And you know what? Look, Yimi Garcia didn't execute, okay? But to come into that spot,
that's tough.
That's tough.
That's fucking tough.
That is absolutely brutal.
Now, his other inning, unexcusable.
Absolutely.
He should have never been back out there after he got the out.
So, man, oh God, it's so frustrating. And I tweeted this out last night as well. I was fucking furious, like so mad. I have never been that mad watching an Astros game before. And that's even talking about the 3-4 years where the Astros were losing over 100 games a year.
Yeah.
Okay. This shit had me so mad, so irate. It is inexcusable, absolutely inexcusable that the umpires were that bad last night. The Astros scored 6 runs. You score 6 runs, you should win a ball game. But no, the White Sox blow up for 12 because the momentum changed on one pitch from Luis Garcia that was not called, that should have been called. And none of the umpires are going to be held accountable. MLB has an issue.
Oh my God.
Did something just drop?
Jock Peterson, I'm watching the game as we're recording this, just came off the bench. Jocktober 3-run tank to put the Braves up 3-0.
Oh my.
An absolute pimp job.
Oh, of course. From Jock Peterson.
That place is rocking.
Good.
I love playoff baseball.
Good. It's the best. MLB has a problem. The umpires union has a problem. This offseason.
Defund the umpires union. I said it last night on Twitter. Defund it.
This offseason, especially with this CBA coming up, I mean, there have got to be changes. You have a replay system. Every other major sports organization, sports association has replay. Use it to your advantage. If you question anything, go to replay. Go to replay. Now, and there's speculation on, and I'm talking about the Grandal call. Strike zone, it is what it is. Look, people are going to be screaming for robot umps for a strike zone, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm still not a fan of a robo ump.
I was about to say, this is kind of coming to a head for you, right?
It is. You know, I still
you got to pick a side.
I know. I'm still I still am on the human element side of a home plate umpire. Last night was just inexcusable. And my opinion on that is you have got to hold umpires accountable. After every game, there is a report that is put out. It shows your strike percentage. If you fall below a threshold of like 96%, you need to be suspended, go to new training. You need to be held accountable. And that doesn't happen.
Correct.
So that's my issue on that. But for Grandal, there's speculation. It wasn't, he established his running lane. Really? Really? We as baseball players were taught to run on the inside part of the grass going to first. Come on. I mean, he knew what he was doing. And if the Astros did it, I would say, hell yeah. That's a smart play. But that's right.
This is where, as a ball player, what Grandal did, I probably would have done the same.
I would have done the same.
I would have done the exact same.
In that moment, I'm taking it off the head. If I
am making sure. It's almost like that A-Rod play, right? When A-Rod was running and it hit, slapped it. I get that as a ball player.
Yes,
but that doesn't fall on Grandal. Right. It falls on the umpires, the union, and Major League Baseball to get that call right. Because we as baseball players are going to do whatever it fucking takes in an elimination game to get the guy in, get the guy over, and all that. So back to Tommy Grandal, though. Fuck that guy for the shit-eating grin after the game. Look.
Oh, I didn't realize it or whatever he said.
Own up to it.
So it's like, like Grandal, you didn't know the situation. You didn't know that you had a guy out
he
third.
Looked directly back as soon as it happened. Chicken wing looked back.
Come on, dude. Less than 2 outs. You got a man at third. You know the contact play is on. You know where you hit it. You went to first base with it. And you're going to say, oh, I was just running the base pass. I didn't even know. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
And then Tony La Russa.
The system is broken.
It is broken. Absolutely. Tony La Russa in his post-game press conference, I think they got the call right. Per the rule. Well, if is the rule.
And I'm not going to name names. There's a lot of big media people, especially in this city, not understanding any of it. And that's what fucking pisses me off too.
Right.
Because now we're sitting here. We're not in Chicago. We're not credentialed. Whatever, for whatever reason, that's fine. Okay, we're young. I get it. The company's being young. But know the fucking game, please.
No shit. Thank you. No shit.
Or stand up for the fucking city you're representing and just one or the other. Not this fine middle ground. Hey, bro, they're not going to throw you a bone. Like, one way or the other.
You don't have to have played the game for 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, 15 years to know baseball. The game. Exactly. Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. You don't have to know the game to an in-depth level, but don't be naive.
Yes.
Don't be naive. Come on. How can you sit there and not say that the umpires played a factor in the momentum of that game? Look what happened after they did not call strike 3 for Luis Garcia. The White Sox scored 5 runs.
Yep.
Completely changed the momentum. And then after that, it was an absolute shit show. And then it's don't be naive. And I get you want to be optimistic and you want to say, hey, it's only one game and they get to come back out tomorrow. That's the beauty of baseball. Because in football, you know, if you get your ass kicked on a Saturday, you got to wait another week to play. Well, you get to turn around in baseball the next day. All that shit. But come on. Like, again, I said it earlier. I grew up learning to play the game without bitching about umpires because you have to control what you can control. But last night, like, egregious on all accounts, all the way around. Total bullshit.
Believe it or not, Brian, I am one to chirp, especially at umpires. And my famous look, I would always be so passive aggressive with umpires. Like, oh man, that's a hell of a call, Blue. Like you got that one. Like a ball clearly outside. I was like, oh yeah, that's where that's where the corner is. That's where we're defining it. Great call.
Great call here.
And then that's just at the plate. Catching wise, if I was catching, I'd just be like, hey, if you're calling at me, you better give it to my guy.
Exactly.
You better fucking give it to my guy because you're going to call that shit on me. You got to give it to my guy on the other side. If not, we're going to have a fucking problem.
Right.
But as I continue, they move me not catching. When I'm hitting, I was very super passive aggressive with umpires because frankly, they are the worst thing on the planet Earth. Like They're up there with the worst of the worst. I hate umpires. I always will hate umpires. I will never shake an umpire's hand. And I can't wait for technology to finally surpass us. And the first thing I hope our robot overlords do is give us robot umpires, because I can't stand it that we're having this conversation in October because some guy made it about him.
Right. And, it's not, hey, and then check this out.
Elon Musk, make it happen.
It's not even during the White Sox and Astros game. Did you see what happened in Boston?
If I'm at spring training every year, I'm telling my umpires, I'm telling my outfitters, if a ball is bouncing around, flip it in the fucking flip it in the stands.
Flip it in because it's a ground rule double.
Because it's a ground rule double.
Okay.
That
hits off the wall in right field, bounces off of the defender and goes into the bullpen, and they call it a ground rule double.
I'm probably throwing $150 million at Messi to come to play right field for me so he get his fucking kickballs in the stands.
I mean, what
are we doing with these rules?
I don't know the official ruling on that. And if that is that official ruling, that shit's got to be looked at and it's got to be fixed.
And people wonder why the Astros did allegedly what they did, because these rules still exist.
Right.
Technology passed up. Astros found the edge, and bada bing, bada boom, they did some stuff. We're still playing hacky sack out in right field, game 3 of the ALDS, and it took a run off the A's. I mean, off the Rays.
Rays, yeah. And the Red Sox eventually hit a walk-off bomb in the 13th inning. Christian Vasquez closed his eyes, hit one out.
And once again, it's momentum.
Oh, yeah.
It's momentum.
It is momentum.
Because that run gets taken off the board. Pavetta gets out of the thing.
Flips just like that.
Flips like that. Fenway's rocking. And then Christian fucking tanks on one. Like,
dude,
do you not think all that stuff is connected? There's people out there that don't believe that.
It's our own people. Some of our own people, Dez, don't believe in momentum in baseball. I'm calling them out. Some of our own people. I'm not going to name names, but bullshit.
Outrageous.
So
outrageous.
Especially in October, everything is under a microscope.
For sure.
There are short leashes. You have got to play with the sense of urgency from out 1 to out 27. Unless it goes into extra innings, there might be extra outs. But momentum is massive. You score a run early, you score 2 runs early, the momentum is on your side until
for sure till the next
shift. And so
it doesn't carry over.
Man.
Yeah, it doesn't carry over. Like
it does not.
When people say that, like, I agree. From game to game, it's a whole new thing.
It's a whole different ball
in
game.
A game, like you said, when you're playing, you're hunting those 27 outs.
Oh yeah.
There's shifts of momentum. And I don't know how people cannot say that. Go look at game 5. You're an Astros fan watching right now. Go look at game 5. That's the biggest case study of momentum during a game in baseball.
That is the perfect example of a heavyweight fight where 2 teams are throwing blows at each other. You take a couple of jabs, you come back with a couple more jabs. You take a big time hit, you better come back with another hit because the momentum shifts, it ebbs and flows with the game. And you have to manage the momentum. And the most frustrating part of all of this is the momentum shifted to the Chicago White Sox in game 3 when the missed call happened of strike 3 with Luis Garcia still on the mound. Imagine, let's take a step back. If Luis Garcia gets that out, the momentum is back on the Astros side, or it stays on the Astros side. Luis Garcia could go into another inning. Then that changes the bullpen decisions.
Changes all of it.
Changes everything. Yimi Garcia might not even come into that game. If Luis Garcia can go.
You go straight to Javier Grinke.
Yeah.
And hey, Javier.
That's the silver lining. Silver lining of game 3.
Through the DS, that is a huge, huge thing that we did. It was a question mark.
He was electric. He was electric last night. Had the upper velo working, had the slider, had the changeup working, and we got to give credit to Zach Greinke.
He pitched his dick off too.
Zach Greinke came in and he got soft contact after soft contact after soft contact, and he got hosed.
Oh,
but he pitched his ass off.
I'm trying to find the tweet, and I don't know if I'll be able to find it live on air. But the exit velo that inning off of Zach Greinke, like the ex-Woba, whatever the stuff you don't like,
right?
It was all under like the expected batting average of all the contact on those 4 hits I think he gave up. were all under like 100. I think one was like 225 was the expected batting average on one of those hits. Everything else was under 100.
Exit velo for Zach Greinke last night had to be under 90 miles an hour.
Oh,
easily under 90 miles, easily, right?
Easily.
And so that's another positive that you take is Christian Javier and Zach Greinke both pitched well. Now, with all of that being said, with all of the bullshit that happened in the game, look, at the end of the game, the White Sox bullpen pitched well. The offense obviously exploded. They did what they had to do to avoid a sweep. They won. Ryan Tepera pitched last night. He pitched 2 solid innings.
Hold on. Before we jump into the sushi boy, I do want to say this. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, tempura, right? Tempura shrimp.
Yeah, tempura shrimp. Yes.
Look, now we got a little conspiracy. We have scallion behind the plate and a little tempura chirping. All right, we don't have to get into it. But the Astros did enough early to win a game. They didn't. They just busted their load too early. Six hits is not going to do efficiently. 6 runs, 6 hits was great. 6 hits isn't going to cut it in a shootout game like that. The White Sox bullpen shoved.
Yeah.
Props to them, especially with Cease only going 2. But I thought Astros were going to win in 4. So my prediction's still alive. It's just the fact that all the other stuff happened. I get it. A night game, elimination. They're coming back home, first playoff game. I get that. And that's why I thought yesterday's game was tricky with the rookie on the mound. And it just sucks that we didn't get to see a full game that we expected because of everything else that happened with the ump show.
Right.
But back to tempura shrimp.
Yeah.
Boy.
So after all the craziness happens, the White Sox as a whole did what they needed to do to win the ball game, avoid the sweep. Pitching staff threw well. Ryan Tepera pitched well, 2 innings. I think he struck out 3. Local kid, by the way.
He's not welcome in my city.
He is from Houston. He went to Brazoswood High School, went to Blinn Junior College, and he got drafted out of Sam Houston State. So what does he do after a great team win? Guaranteed rate field was rocking. They had a light show going.
That was cool.
They were chanting, they were cheering, they were doing everything needed. They avoided the sweep. They got back in the series. They're looking forward to which the next day, obviously got rained out, but you're riding that high. And what does Ryan Tepera do? He goes into his post-game press conference and he insinuates that the Astros are cheating because they put up a bunch of runs in games 1 and 2, and then also forgetting that his own hitting lineup, his own offense just exploded for 12 runs at their park. So take the cheating allegations and insinuations out of the equation. Ryan Tepera, you just took the opportunity to congratulate and to pump up your own team and yourself. And what did you do? You thought the best thing to do was come in and the first thing you talk about is the Houston Astros? Oh. What are you doing? You want to give this offense and this team bulletin board material? How stupid are you? How stupid can you be?
No one learns. No one learns. The A's did it last year. The Twins did it last year. The only team that didn't do anything were the Rays, and they beat us. It's like if you chirp, you lose. And I can't wait to end their season, and I hope it's fucking Shrimp Boy, Tepera Boy on the mound when we do it tomorrow. I really do. Because, 1, you're not welcome in my city. 2, that was the biggest me guy thing of all time. Like you said,
absolutely.
The crowd was rocking. You avoided elimination, and you have the audacity, to chirp. And look, I get it. You're in the show. Maybe some jabs, with passive aggressive jabs. Like I enjoyed the bundle up from Judge thing. That was a good little jab. You give me a good little jab, I'm gonna give you some props. But to go on this tangent and the soliloquy of they're not good, on the road because they're better at home because of the shady stuff they did in the past. Fuck you, man. I can't wait to end your fucking season, Shrimp Boy.
The arrogance of Ryan Tepera to come into the post-game press conference, and the first thing you do is you put the Astros on spotlight instead of your own team. If I'm in that clubhouse and I see those comments, I'm probably saying to myself, what the fuck, Ryan? What the fuck are you doing? But then again, the White Sox, to me, and Dez, you can give me your thoughts. I don't know if you feel the same way, but you can clearly tell the White Sox have never been there before. Like their antics and the things that they say and the things that they do. And yeah, it's act like you've been there, meat, but they haven't. So they're probably thinking, oh yeah, hell yeah, Spade. Hell yeah, Spader, let's go, baby. Just fuck those cheaters. Instead, the Astros, and we heard it from Alex Bregman in his media availability today after they announced that it was postponed. He said, we're here to play baseball. Yeah. They didn't talk about it. They didn't say anything about it. All the players said, we want to play baseball. And our guy, Dusty Baker, did you read? I'm sure you read what he said, right?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Brian T. Smith of the Chronicle tweeted this out. Dusty Baker ended response to Tepera's cheating accusations by referencing an Eric Clapton song he was listening to. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. I'm in.
I love it.
Love it.
It's why poke the bear? Why do these things? Like if Tepera went out and had 9 strikeouts over the next 3 games and they backdoor sweep, then talk your fucking shit.
Right.
But not when you're down 2-1. Not even if you tie it 2-2, because you still got to come. You
still got to come home, or they got to come to Houston.
Oh, he's not welcome here.
Right.
I mean, we'll make sure that. We know the mayor. So they never learn. They never learn with this team, because we talked about with a good friend Ben on this podcast. We talked about how this core of this lineup has logged so many at bats and so many innings in October. That's a huge game changer. They've seen everything that could be thrown their way, especially after last night. They've seen it all now. It makes no sense to poke the bear, but here we are. Yeah. You're down. The White Sox are down 2-1 still. Doesn't matter what you say, pregame, postgame, whatever. You're still chasing one, Bubba.
Yep.
You're still chasing one.
Just to get the series tied.
Yeah.
You're still on the brink of elimination, and you want to run your mouth. I mean, it's not a good move. And then a little bit more on Dusty Baker during his media availability. Chandler Rome, also from the Chronicle, tweeted out, Dusty Baker on Ryan Tepera. He can say what he wants to say. I had never even heard his name before we played the White Sox. I'm not bothered by it. Most of my life, they've been talking stuff on me anyway. Let them talk.
Let them talk. That's the name of the episode. Let them talk.
Let them talk.
It blows my mind that every year we see it. Every year post this alleged scandal breakout, we just see these teams chirp and chirp and chirp, and it never works out for them.
It's like they can't just handle an ass whooping. Like, you're soft as an organization. You're soft as a player. If the first thing that you're going to do after getting your shit kicked in 2 games is go right to, oh, they must be cheating again. No, dude.
Winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners.
Yeah.
It's simple as that, Tepera.
It's oh my God. It's just unbelievable, man. You got your shit kicked in. Okay, so what? Get up, dust yourself off, and go try to win game 3, which you did. But instead of focusing on the win, on a total team win, you want to talk about the Astros. It's just dumb. It's soft.
And the thing that a lot of us, and being in this golden age of the Astros that we're in, we've been able to log and see a lot of games, right? And look back in 17, 18, 19, there's been games where we're up 2-0, 2-1, where we just get our shit pushed in, and it's happened. I think the Red Sox series in 17, we won the 2 at home, and then we went to Fenway, lost like 10-3 before we closed it out in 4. It's just wild that the other teams, and you nailed it, they haven't been here before.
Right.
Like, these guys know how to turn the page. They literally know how to do this. They know how to turn the page. That's what the Astros know how to do in October. Thank you. Thank you, Shrimp Boy. That's all I got.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Seriously. And
what do you feel about this rain delay? Do you think it helps the guys? Do you think it hurts the guys? Because originally I thought it was favorable for the White Sox because one, it was it's going to be an adrenaline dump, right? You had a high, you're going to go high to a low, quick turnaround to a game. You could be caught sleeping a little bit.
Right.
But now this rain delay, now you get your bullpen back. They have all their guys back that they threw in Houston. They'll be full arms, ready to go in an elimination game. But you had Grandal smirking in his post-game conference chirping. You have Tepera, Shrimp Boy chirping. Now you gave the Astros a whole day and a half to just sit on it and mule on it and be like, let's fucking go. You know what I mean?
So I think we talk about bulletin board material, right?
Correct.
You're in the playoffs. You have a sense of urgency already. Especially a team like the Houston Astros, they don't need extra motivation. Right. But for some reason, people in Major League Baseball like to give the Astros more motivation. So I think with the rain delay and the postponement, obviously it's going to give both sides arms to rest, that extra day. Your bullpen arms that threw in game 1 and 2 get an extra day of rest, so forth and so on. Right. So and then again, when you bring in if game 4 was going on right now and Tepera had never said anything, they had just rolled into game 4 like it was another game, it's an elimination game, I would be a little bit nervous.
Correct.
I would say Urquidy's on the mound, get at least 4 or 5 from him, put together good at-bats, get some things rolling, control the momentum, right? But now you have once again talked out of your ass when it's totally hypocritical because the White Sox scored 12 at home. Astros scored, they didn't even score 12. They scored 6 and then 9, I believe, in game 1 and then game 2. Okay, so what the fuck does it matter? Home field advantage, whatever. So now with the postponement, I think it benefits the Astros in a sense of you just gave them a day to stew on what you said. So
your
now because
board material went from like a 6-hour window to a 24. Yeah.
And to enhance that bulletin board material is during the media availability today, every question was surrounded by, or that statement from Tepera was what the media availability was surrounded by. All questions about all of it. Hey, did you hear what Tepera said? What do you think about what he said? And Bregman,
like tempura sushi.
Yeah. Do you want a tempura shrimp roll? Do you want the firecracker tempura shrimp roll? No
one talked about last night.
No one talked about last night.
No one talked about the White Sox offense stringing all those hits, getting all the big hits, doing all the stuff they needed to do. And now it's about Shrimp Boy.
Now it's about Ryan Tepera and his dumb ass comments. You took away from the team. You focusing on an organization with the best lineup in baseball, arguably the best lineup in baseball. And now with the postponement, that's all anyone's talking about today. That's why we're doing this. Literally, you and I. That's why we're talking right now. That is why we are going on this podcast right now on Beyond the Diamond, is because of what Ryan Tepera said.
It's wild. Absolutely wild. Look, we joke. We all badger around. We mess with you. We mess with Colin. Mess with me. Mess with Josh. Me guy, team guy. This was the ultimate me guy thing. Like
just a dumb move on his part.
I just strap him on a rocket.
Yeah. Now this next 24 hours is all going to be focused on what he said. And we saw it in media availability. And that's all he wants to talk about.
The dude's nasty. He's got a sick cutter. Like but it's Tony La Russa. Do you even bring him in a close situation? Runners first and second, one out. Like, you can't even turn to the guy because Bregman's going to be fucking fired up. Correa's be fucking fired up. Oh, hell yeah, we're going to get this guy right now. I don't understand why you would do this.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Makes zero sense. They never learn.
Doesn't make sense. Does not make any sense to me on why he would go and do that. Like, how do you not just focus on your team win?
Yeah.
It's just like Bregman today. Bregman's the only media availability that I heard. I've seen quotes from others, but just like he said, we're here to play baseball. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone writes. The focus is on playing baseball.
Hey, boys, go get you some deep dish, get you in the hotel, kick back, relax, reset. I think this rain delay was the best thing for us. I really do.
I believe so. And then I know we're running out of time here, but the last topic I wanted to hit with you is there's been some talk. Who do you ride for Game 4? Do you push Lance into Game 4 start? Do you let Urquidy do it? I think you and I are definitely on the same page because we were asked about it on Twitter. You ride with Urquidy because at the very least you get Lance McCullers Jr. back home to Minute Maid Park, starting a pivotal and elimination Game 5. Winner take all, move to the ALCS. Why would you not want your best arm on the mound at home in a winner take all game? That's my stance on it. Ride with Urquidy for Game 4.
Stay the course.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I could see, throwing Lance on full day rest tomorrow. Like if they do decide to do that, okay. Like I'm not angry either way, but my perspective is this: you're in a position, you have home field advantage for a reason. You busted your ass to get that to the very end. You won at home. You're up 2-1 in the series. You don't go all in when you have the nuts. Like you got a flush draw. You have all the stuff. There's no reason to press and go all in. And you keep that ace in your back pocket. You have even a situation you got to throw Framber right behind it. You Framber like in an elimination game. You got to do it. Got to do what you got to do. You don't fucking worry about your rotation for the next series.
It's anything can happen in a Game 5. Anything can happen in a Game 7. You throw the kitchen sink at them if you have to.
Tomorrow you have your Urquidy and you have Javier back. You have Greinke, and then you have your Stanek, your Graveman, your Press. People forget Urquidy was born and molded in these high pressure situations. He was Luis Garcia before Luis Garcia, where we just threw him out in these big moments on the road and he deals. You stay the course. You stay the course. You go to work. You trot Urquidy out there to do what he has done for the last 3 years, and that's pitch big games on the road and win you these games.
Yep. Prime example, 2019 against the Nationals.
Correct.
In the World Series. Pitched absolutely lights out.
I would say that'd be a big stage, huh, Brian?
I would think so.
On the road?
I would think so.
In a World Series game?
In the World Series.
Yeah. I would think so.
Definitely ride with Urquidy. Locate the fastball, throw your changeup, throw your slider, And
I think the rain delay the playoff crowd's going to show up, right? They're going to be there
regardless. Yeah. They haven't had a playoff series since 2008. So yeah, they're going to be there. They're in Chicago. So they're going to be fucking drunk at 10 a.m.
But it's not a holiday. Today was a holiday. For mostly, the working people.
Yeah. So they,
now they have to go to work tomorrow. So I think there'll be people are going to show up regardless, but you got to think that rowdy crowd of fans are probably going to work. They missed out with the holiday being today, which sucks as a fan. As a fan, for sure. As a fan, that really fucking sucks.
But it benefits the Astros. I think the rain delay definitely benefits the Astros. Yeah. And it's all because I think it all goes back to, we talked about one pitch changing the momentum of a game. Ryan,
Trip boy.
Tepera.
Trip boy.
Tepera.
Yeah. What I don't know. I'm not learning his name.
It all goes back to what he said. That's what has enhanced this game. This is what enhanced the momentum now, all because of a selfish post-game presser. Come on, dude. Like, and then last thing I'll say about it, do you really think that Major League Baseball is going to let teams cheat after everything that has already happened? Like, really? Like, come on, dude. Like, take a step back and maybe read your box score right in front of you. You get post-game notes, right? I mean, everyone gets them. Read up on it. Look at the stats. Look at the box score. Look at how many runs your team scored at home compared to the Astros at their place. I mean, what a jackass.
I love it.
And it doesn't surprise me. I'm going to take the time to shit on Sam Houston State. It doesn't surprise me that jerk off went to Sam Houston State.
Do you think that the Red Sox? So look, I don't think there's any remaining team other than the White Sox are going to chirp the Astros, because The Rays beat us last year and they didn't chirp until after the series, which is fine. You beat us. You went to the World Series. You could chirp. You could do whatever. I think Choi had the trash can right in the celebration with the cigars. Yeah. Like, cool. Like, as a fan and as a unbiased national media journalist and as someone who likes to talk a little shit, that was well done. The Red Sox are in the same boat as us. 2 peas in a pod. They cheated. Alex they won.
Cora's right
Alex
there.
Cora's there leading it. Our guy. A guy that I said when he was leaving, I wanted AJ Hinch gone and keep Alex Cora. That's how much I loved him. That's Alex Cora is and still my dude. So the White Sox are the only team on the AL side that'll be chirping.
There's only one other team that's going to chirp. It's going to be the Dodgers if they get there.
For sure, because San Fran has a blood magic. The Brewers
aren't going to have anything to say. The Braves aren't going to have anything to say.
Yeah, I mean,
the Giants know.
Yeah, because they do.
The Giants, the average age of their starting lineup is like 50. It's like 39. So they've been cheating as long as the Astros have, and everyone else as long as the Dodgers have, as long as the White Sox, or I'm sorry, the Yankees. The White Sox. Everyone cheats. They're all doing it, or they all were doing it.
And so I just think the best thing about this is that we're gonna get to end their season on their field, while Shrimp Boy's in the freaking dugout watching.
Yeah. So last thing before we sign off here, what's your prediction for Game 4?
I thought it was coming back to Houston, but after these comments, Stros win 8-4.
Yeah, I think they take care of business. I think the offense is going to absolutely explode. I think Kyle Tucker is going to continue to swing it well. Yordan Alvarez didn't look very good last night, but that's okay. New ball game. I think he is going to have a big game. And then you know who else is going to have a big game? Is going to be Carlos Correa. Mr. October himself.
Last night's lineup, we had the AL batting champion batting 7th.
Think about that.
Just everyone watching, everyone listening, the AL batting champion batted 7th in this lineup.
That's another guy that you have to watch for.
He needs to get going. He's only got one hit. Brantley needs to get going.
Yep.
And just let's string some hits together and just get out of here, go back to Houston for the ALCS.
Yep. I think the Astros take care of business in Chicago. Thanks, Ryan Tepera. Appreciate
that. And we'll be at Spindle Tap tomorrow afternoon. Game's at 1. They wanted me to let everyone know if you show up, if you're one of the first 10 people to show up in Apollo gear, you get a free round on the bartender. That's free beer. And then anytime an Astro hits a home run, the entire place gets a free round. So look at us stimulating the economy. Free beer.
Spindle Tap Brewery. Check it out.
There. The description will be linked below, down below, the address, and we'll be there probably around 12:30.
Shout out to FM Kitchen for having Apollo watch party last night. That was great event.
We packed it out. We had over 100 people there. I was stressed out of my mind the entire day because I didn't know that people were going to come out, and they came out, showed out, and it was beautiful. So thank you guys. Thank you for everyone. We're just getting started. Next year we'll have 1,000 people at an event.
Oh, I'm losing my camera. I am losing. Oh, no. We're back. We're back. And then just real quick, I got to give a shout out to a buddy of mine real quick. He hooked me up some shirts for me and my family. Mike over at Innovative Insane Creations. Look him up on Instagram. Innovative Inc. 101. He does good work. He may start producing some Apollo shirts for us. Stay tuned on that. That's going to be another local provider for our great merchandise. But he hooked some stuff up for me from both my parents who got some health issues right now. So really appreciate it, Mike. I told him I'd give him a little shout out.
Love that.
But that's going to do. Yeah, Big Mike. Thanks again, Mike. Appreciate that. That's going to do it, Des. You know, I can't believe we had to sit here and talk about umpires in October, but here we are.
Here we fucking are.
And we let it fly on this episode.
Oh, I love it. Shrimp Boy, you better not step a foot in my city.
You jackass.
Dumb.
You jackass.
Dumb idiot.
Oh, my God.
You idiot. Thank you. Man. Thank you, Shrimp Boy.
Astros going for an ALDS win in Game 4. Spindle Tap Brewing, that's where we will be for another local watch party. Check us out. Come hang out with us, get some merch, get some beer. It's going to be a fun time. That's going to do it for another edition of Beyond the Diamond podcast here on the Apollo Podcast Network. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel. So this is going to be on YouTube. I know a lot of you guys watched Des and I interview Josh Reddick, which was great. Ben Verlander, always great. Like, subscribe, do whatever you got to do on all of our social medias at Apollo HOU. We love you guys. We appreciate the support. All the content is going to continue to come your way, especially here in the month of October. Des, you got anything before we get out of here?
We are currently at how many subscribers? 902. We need 98 more. So hit that little button, hit that little check mark right below. And love you guys.
Yep. Tell your friends, tell your moms, your dads, your sisters, your brothers, your aunts, your uncles, follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel where we are on the hunt for 1,000 subscribers. Again, thank you so much for the support. Until next time, Brian LaLima, ApolloDez. Follow us on Twitter at BLima790, at ApolloDez1, and of course at Apollo HOU. That's going to do it. Peace.
Love you guys.